All right, what's up? It's a return to slime season already. Okay, we're back, and we're talking Ernest. It's week 2 of Ernest. He's going to jail this week. He's getting scared, stupid, and I'm your host, Daniel. Uh,
Aaron Vern.
oh, that's pretty good. I was gonna say Daniel D. Trainell. Right, like PURL, right? All right. And let me bring in my co-host over there. He's a handsome guy in his mid-20s, and maybe we'd be a more successful podcast if he'd only just get off his ass and kill a CEO or two. Over there, Logan B. Adair. What's up, pal?
Well, if I did that, we would not be able to record anymore. So I don't
Who
think we'd be
cares,
successful at
baby? The
all.
back catalog would go through the
Oh,
roof.
that's a good
I
point,
I
actually.
spent all day yesterday reading that motherfucker's Goodreads reviews.
Maybe they are all out there.
Your letterbox would blow up.
They'd be like, they did a Sexiest Man Alive tournament. Let me subscribe to that Patreon and listen to that episode.
You better believe it.
By the
All
way, where
right.
would John Krasinski? How far do you think he would go now that we've added a new one?
Pretty far, honestly.
Really? I don't
he's
find him that sexy.
Are
He
you
doesn't
kidding
do it.
me?
He doesn't do it for me, Krasinski.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'm sorry
Dan,
he doesn't do it for you.
Dan is the foremost if head, so of course he's gonna love the Krasinski.
Of course, baby. I'm looking for the expansion of the If cinematic universe. Let's bring it in. I want to see a prequel. What was Ryan Reynolds like back when he looked more like an If? All right. Hey, let's the spoilers for If. Let's bring in our he's already piped in a couple times, which he's not supposed to do. But hey, he's got an Ernest hat on. He's a husband and father. Oh, a vest as well. I see. He's on Blue Sky, still branded as Shut Up Tim, even though he says he doesn't want to be called that anymore. But hey, branding—that's the world we live in. Here he is, Tim Allen.
SEO, baby. You got to keep the branding. People want to know. They want to be able to block me instantly because they're like, that's that Shut Up Tim who we can't stand.
All right, yeah.
There's like a service on Blue Sky you can use, and it tells you how many people you've been blocked by because you don't see blocks or on Blue Sky they just disappear. So you have to like use a third service. And I joined, and I'm already blocked by like 20 people. I'm like, all right, what did I do? But there you go. That's you. You live in the streets, you die by the streets, right? You know what I mean?
The game is the game.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna spit water all over the place right now.
What was that?
The game?
Oh, I was making a Wire reference, but he went with Triple H, gang. Hey, I've got great news for you. I spoke to the owner of my shop, and I got permission to keep this pen. All right.
You asked to keep the pen?
I mentioned that I had taken it home,
Did
and they
Who
were
does
like,
that?
you could just have it."
the owner say, as long as you stop beating up homeless people, you can keep the pen?
Do I beat up homeless people?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this?
you mentioned on the podcast you beat up some person who was homeless person who was trying to
That
steal
was nuts.
stuff.
What?
I think you made that up.
Oh no, you mean from the store?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
someone-
don't know if he was homeless. But he had a dog. It had homeless vibes.
Seemed
But
like an unhoused
I
person.
did throw some punches. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I beat him up.
They didn't
But-
land though. He didn't land any punches.
No. I it was pretty good. I got a few
You're like
few pieces
Jake
of merchandise back.
Yeah, he's like, hey, give me back the Hello Kitty plushie.
No, he was stealing Disney backpacks.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. We've got
By the way, you said he has an Ernest hat on. That's just a normal hat. I wanna
but he's
say.
got the brim turned up.
I
It does
the
have a
brim-
V for Vern, I think,
No,
right?
it's a Y.
Oh, it's a Y. My bad.
Hey, Yearn.
Hey, Yearn. Daniel, you said
it's
last
for-
week. Go
it's
ahead.
Y for you know what I mean.
You know what I mean?
You said last week that if they did Ernest, it would be hard to do it because he doesn't have a look. He definitely does. He wears a gray shirt with a blue vest and a gray hat. That's his
Listen,
signature look.
you're right, and I realized it this week when they did the gag where he was looking at his closet, and everything in there was that.
Right. That's where I noticed it also.
That was a hilarious gag.
So that'd be the way to do it.
That was the hardest I laughed probably at a gag this week. Second hardest when they had that guy. He was just like standing behind a line, and then he looked out the one side and then out the other side. I laughed at that.
Okay. I think I
All
laughed
right.
at a few things, probably.
I laughed a ton at Jail, and I laughed almost none at Scared Stupid.
I will argue, like, we've watched 4 now, and in terms of rankings, I'd say we've watched the pinnacle of the franchise, Jail. It's the best of the 4. And then right after that, we followed up with Scared Stupid. I think that is the weakest of the 4.
Of the ones you've seen.
Of the ones I've seen, of course. Yeah,
yes.
we haven't watched Africa yet.
Yes,
I think Movies Movington had a positive review of Scared Stupid. I thought you might come in here feeling somewhere similarly.
Listen,
and we're Hubie Halloween fans. It's
I think you gotta have some nostalgia for it or something. Movies Movington also really loves Hocus Pocus, and I think that's a piece of shit. You had to be like of a certain age and mindset in the early 90s when these movies were coming out.
Yeah, right, I agree with that. I feel like it's all nostalgia. You remembered watching it as a kid, but even as a kid, when I saw it in theater, and this was what, 91 was Scared Stupid?
Mm-hmm. Now, slow down, because I'm blown away that these were in theaters. It is absolutely crazy to me that these came out in theaters and were successful and people went to see them. Tell us the experience of seeing an Ernest film in theaters.
So I would have been 10 in 91. So I know my mom took me and probably my younger brother. And I remember sitting and kind of being scared that it was going to be a scary movie because I loved Ernest. I'd seen Jail in theater as well, and the other ones I had seen on VHS a bunch. And Ernest was a big character in my life. I didn't realize how much so, but yeah. And then I remember at 10 thinking that Scared Stupid was bad. Like, I remember being bored multiple parts because I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest problem with Scared Stupid is not enough Ernest. We cut to these kids way too many times.
There are no kids in jail.
Yeah.
All right. And it's such a blessing. And then we go back to kids and Scared Stupid, and they're all over this fucking movie, even though I was so fucking pumped for the little girl because I instantly recognized her as JGL's girlfriend from Third Rock from the Sun.
Wow. Which you're currently watching.
Which I am currently watching.
Are you up to her?
That's Allison Mack.
I'm well into her.
That's Allison.
What?
Isn't
Allison Mack.
JG? Yeah, JG. Not The Secret Life of.
What are we talking about here?
JG.
Allison Mack.
No, not her.
You're talking about Alex Mack.
Alex Mack. Sorry,
Larissa Olenek.
Yeah,
That's much later in the series.
So this is a different girlfriend.
But he consistently dates her for like a few seasons.
Oh, okay.
This girl from Ernest Scared Stupid.
I thought she was good. I thought she was good.
She's fantastic. She's fantastic. But the fucking main kid, I mean, he had failed audition for Spanky from Little Rascals written all over his face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
right.
He didn't do much for me.
Let's talk about him. You ready? John Cherry. That's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. He's back. He's got a Jewish writer in tow, Charlie Cohen. And they wrote the Scared Stupid. No, sorry, Jail. Ernest Goes to Jail. It came out April 6th, 1990, on a budget of $9 million. It made $25 million at the box office. Came in at number 51 for that year. Smack dab in the middle of Navy SEALs and Ghost Dad.
Oh, Ghost Dad.
Yeah. Theo, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yep. That's Mike Cosby. All right. There were at this point 7 Ernest films in development.
What?
And yeah. And the idea was basically we'll just make whichever one's furthest along in development.
That's the way to do it.
And Jail got out there first. We don't know about all 7, but I did do some research. One of them was called Ernest the Bellhop. That sounds pretty good. We were doing that a lot at the time. It could have been like For Love or Money with Michael J. Fox.
Imagine if the movie Four Rooms that Ernest was the bellhop.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Honestly, it wouldn't be that different from Four Rooms. And there was one called Ernest in Paradise. I don't know what that means, whether he was in Hawaii or maybe he died and was in heaven.
What if he was like in the Garden of Eden and he was Adam?
That would be pretty good, honestly. Yeah. Gets that snake really lures him in.
Yeah.
No. All right. And then you know what you could do? You could have that comedy team, that fat guy and the one who doesn't talk. They could be Cain and Abel.
Chuck and Bobby, of course.
Like
yeah. Thank you.
But one would have to kill the other. I don't like that.
It would just be the fat guy repeatedly killing the skinny guy, and then he coming back.
The skinny guy's the killer. He's the one that's shooting everybody.
I love the way he holds the gun.
Yeah. He looks so awesome. I love Bobby. He's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
All right. Well, we've seen the last one, I think. I read that the fat one,
Chuck.
He's not in the 4th one.
He had a falling out with John Cherry.
No,
I tried to find more details about it, but I couldn't. But if someone knows, please send me some sort of a link, because I'd love to know literally every detail of what happened between those two.
Well, I was shocked to see that Chuck guy, the fat guy, is still alive and mostly working. He's got a lot of credits. Yeah. He does, and I wonder if he does the eye thing a bunch, and then I love the pig squeal that he does too.
Why didn't he do the eye thing in the 3rd one?
Yeah, that's true. He didn't. That's
crazy to me.
Maybe that was what
signature move.
Maybe that's what the falling out was about. Was they are like, you need to do the eye thing. He's like, nope, pay me more. I won't.
It was taken away from Ernest. I think they had to cut it out.
Yeah,
because they're like, these are Ernest films going forward.
He was jockeying for a spin-off, and Cherry didn't want to do it.
I think possibly. Honestly, they were like more over for me than Ernest at a certain point.
I read in the IMDb trivia that Ernest was, or Jim Varney was upset with Rimshot the dog.
I read this too.
He was worried that Rimshot the dog was going to take away from Ernest.
Oh my God, he's Vin Diesel. I didn't realize.
He said he didn't like Rimshot the first couple of days of shooting because Rimshot was stealing his spotlight.
They said Rimshot was too good of an actor and it intimidated Jim Varney.
Yeah, that's why Varney started busting out all those impressions. He was like, let's see fucking Rimshot do this. Let's see him do a Cagney.
Yeah.
All right. But the one that was furthest along in development without getting made was Ernest Spaced Out.
Okay.
Which, Ernest Goes to Space. And there are legitimate rumors and theories that the film Rocket Man with Harlan Williams is a repurposed Ernest Spaced Out. Like they took the Ernest Spaced Out script and rewrote it for a new actor.
I can see that.
That 100% tracks. Although there's a big fart in Rocket Man, and I don't think Ernest farts. We haven't seen him fart yet. We need to track to see if Ernest ever farts. I hope you guys have been tracking a lot of Ernest, because there's a lot of Ernest facts that we have after 4 movies that you should do, which include, I believe Ernest is immortal, and a mutant of some sort. He basically does Superman at the end of Jail.
Yeah, I didn't understand how he survived being killed.
Well, he has electricity powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how? How did he turn into a magnet also? How did that
That's what happens when Ernest interacts with electricity. He doesn't get electrocuted. He develops magnetic powers.
But this makes he's a superhero also. All of what you're saying too.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's a mutant basically. He's basically Magneto, but it has to be activated with some sort of electrical conductor.
Yeah, he's It's like from Agent Orange or something, whatever he got when he was in Vietnam. Because remember, he's a Vietnam vet
Yep.
also, and he's been mutated
Oh, you think the
enough. And
powers date back to Vietnam? That's
yeah,
interesting.
also,
Mm.
he's cursed. We learned in the fourth movie, his whole bloodline is cursed, and that's why he's stupid.
Right, right. The bloodline is cursed. Each successive generation of Worrells is going to be dumber than the last. So I really hope
He won't
Ernest never.
procreate though.
You never know, man. Are you kidding me? You
You
don't
never know.
think
Charlotte was
gotta
into him.
I think, come on, he's had love interest before. You know, there was you know, nurse Red Wolf or whatever in the first one,
They had to
and
relate. They were together.
that was the intention, and Disney stopped it. Remember?
Oh, of course.
Okay,
Of course.
so then in the second one, I don't think there was one.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
but then now in the third one, he's got this girl Charlotte, and Charlotte's aching for it, baby. Are you kidding me? Like she wants Ernest. I think they hook up after this movie.
Okay.
I did read in IMDb trivia also for this film that the writers wanted Ernest to end up with her at the end of the movie, and then Disney came in and said, "No, Ernest, he's smooth down there. He has no sex. He's not a
Whoa.
sexual being.
Yeah.
He's like The Rock. He has no sexual charisma or energy."
But they're saying he doesn't even have a penis.
They said
He has
That
no-
was the
no
that was
sex
the
organs?
directive. We are not going to acknowledge that Ernest has a sex drive at all.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
that's why it's okay for him to hang out with kids primarily and Scared
Yeah,
Stupid.
yeah, that's fair. But that is crazy. Like, there's one point where like the mom of the Spanky kid is like, "What were you doing going into the woods with Ernest?" And like he just treats it like, we were making a treehouse. But like, it's a good question. Like, if I had a kid and he was hanging out in the woods after school with the school sanitation officer, I would be extremely concerned.
And that answer is not good enough for me. We're making a treehouse.
No way.
I got to do some investigating of my own.
Yeah,
Who asked that? The girl's mom or the boy's mom?
I think the
Boy's
boy's mom.
The girl's mom I thought was a pretty bad actor. I didn't like her when she was like, "You got to grow up, daughter. You're asking like to check under your bed." She might be the LVP. I didn't write it down. She was pretty rough.
I couldn't pay attention to any scene that didn't have Ernest in it.
I kind
Oh.
of felt that way about that one too. Like jail, I was invested in throughout. Like I paid attention to the story.
It was like that Muppets movie where Kermit,
Yeah,
there's evil
Constantine,
Kermit,
yeah.
right? Muppets
Muppets Most Wanted. Yeah, I mean that's years after this.
of course.
Yeah, but we got two Ernest, right? We got Kevin Nash or whatever his
Kevin
name
Nash.
was.
Mr.
They
Nash.
called him Nash, Mr. Nash or whatever.
Oh
It's
yeah.
Kevin. And he's like, did he drive a diesel at some
Oh
point?
my god, I knew it was gonna come to Diesel. Let's bring in. We're not bringing anybody. It's just the three of us.
That'd be
But
crazy.
let's talk about the movie. All right.
Okay.
No Academy Awards or Golden Globes.
Not even a Razzie. No,
Whoa.
they couldn't care less about this shit. All right.
It was
Oh,
too good.
Logan, did you want to do a list?
Oh yeah, I've got my 90 list. I've changed it. I switched it around yesterday, but I'll go first. Okay. Tim, you can
Okay.
tell us who's better.
I'll judge whose is better.
If we ever have a guest, make a list. That's the thing we do now. All right.
I forgot. Sorry, I should have known. I'm literally the producer.
You literally are. Number 10, I put Total Recall. Number 9, Arachnophobia. Number 8, the first ever Richard Linklater film, Slacker. Watched that one this year, I think.
Mhm.
7, Gremlins 2, the new batch. We covered it. That was a fun episode. 6, Misery. 5, I just watched it a few days ago. Wild at Heart. I thought that was a great movie. 4, Miller's Crossing. One of those Coens that doesn't get talked about. But maybe I should watch that again, actually. I've only seen it once. 3, Edward Scissorhands. 2, Home Alone. That was like number 5 or 6. And I bumped it
Wow.
all the way up to number 2 because we just did a commentary on it. Check that out. I thought that was fun. And number 1, Goodfellas.
All right. I also have Goodfellas number 1. Spoilers.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
All right. Total Recall and Arachnophobia have just outside the top 10 at 11 and 12. But here's my list. I got Misery at 10. Number 9 is John Waters' Cry Baby. Number 8 is Spike Lee's Mo Better Blues. Number 7 is Whit Stillman's first film, Metropolitan. Number 6 is Slacker, the Linklater movie you mentioned. Number 5 is Edward Scissorhands. Number 4 is Hal Hartley's Trust. Number 3 is Wild at Heart by Lynch. Number 2 is Miller's Crossing. And number 1, Goodfellas.
You're a total hypocrite. I remember in the Gremlins episode, gave it 5 stars, and that's not even in your top 12.
Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Because you said Arachnophobia and Total Recall are 11 and 12. So where's Gremlins 2?
Holy shit, you're right. You know, I gotta say, I think I made this list when I still had that as a 4, and I never updated it. But I still don't think it would be in the top 10, but it would be right up there.
All right, fair enough.
All right, let's get into the movie.
Logan won, by the way.
Wow, thank you.
Shit.
Thank you,
Bullshit.
I felt like Dan was trying too hard.
Metropolitan and Mo Better Blues. Get a life.
I like Mo Better Blues, but yeah, it was like
those are just movies I haven't seen.
Yeah, I mean, outrageous.
Home Alone anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, fucking Home Alone so much better than Metropolitan.
I haven't seen Metropolitan.
You know. All right, let's so it opens. How'd you feel about the opening sequence? We do it's sort of a James Bond opening, but also with some little cutouts of black and white drawings of Ernest. It reminded me very much of the not Home Alone, Home Improvement.
Oh, very much.
Yeah. Instead of it was more.
You.
You know
what I mean? I
thought
loved
that was
it.
fun. I enjoyed the opening credits.
Yeah, James Bond opening was good. I liked it better than the Scared Stupid.
That was fun too, though. I like the effort there.
It was just like
I like the slime credits in Scared Stupid. All the credits were slime.
Yeah, he mostly was like lit with like green light, and then he was just doing faces. At one point, he had an eyeball in his mouth.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was paying attention. I took notes mostly on the first movie, and then couldn't care for the second movie.
Oh.
Like at one point, I was just like,
all right, walk us through the first one.
Well, Dan, this is where I thought maybe you identified with Ernest. At one point, he's trying to get his floor waxer to work right at the bank because he's a janitor at a bank in this one. He's always like a janitor, right? Like,
and he wants to be something higher.
Right,
like he wants to work at the bank.
Yeah, to be a clerk.
He's a fucking janitor at the camp, and he wants to be a counselor. He's a janitor at the bank, and he wants to be a bank teller. He's a janitor at the school, and he wants to fuck those kids in the woods. He's a
taxi driver in Christmas. That's the only one he's not a janitor, right?
That's true. Yeah, we know he's got a license. That's something I don't have. That's something Ernest has over me.
And he has license to kill, according to the opening credits.
Good call, bro.
Well, his floor waxer says, "Warning: do not flick."
Oh, but after he flicked it a bunch, we see it on the thing.
Yeah. And I feel like, Dan, you wouldn't heed that warning, right? Just like Ernest, you flick your switch rapidly all the time. Right?
Is that about how I jerk off?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I jerk off more than you two.
Well, us combined, probably.
Come on, man. You
just talk about it more. You're more open.
Yeah, I think that's right. I don't hide my shit.
Take pride in yourself.
But you talk about it so much. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, maybe that's not a good thing.
I think it's something men should talk about more, and women,
disagree.
like in general. Like
anyone should talk about it.
It's weird that there are things all human beings do.
I think we should be less
don't
personal.
acknowledge.
I think we should not talk about ourselves.
Oh,
as
I
much.
think I agree with Dan. Like, I think it should be like commonplace knowledge. I'm just saying, like, the frequency that Dan mentions it, it's like he's like a 2 or 3 time a day type of guy.
No way, never more than once a day. Not
Never
in
more than
years.
once a day.
Not since I was your age.
Okay.
Whoa, the way Logan got offended by that, maybe he's.
I mean, that was a
reducing
crazy
bit
statement
much.
to say never more than once a day. That's just a flat out lie.
No. I honestly can't recall doing it more than once a day since I lived with my parents.
Okay, but you said never.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, never in that I'm 38 and I haven't done that since I'm like, in like 15 years or something.
Okay, well, there's a difference between 15 and 38 years.
Huh. All right. Let's move on.
Yeah, he bathes
All
in
right.
his washing machine. I thought that was a crazy move.
There's a lot going on with Ernest in this movie. The what's going on with his apartment?
Well,
Because-
before you like, I think the magnetic stuff is more important because then he gets
Oh.
electrocuted, and we have that awesome part where he's like getting attacked by everything. Like, why would the bank keep swords in the bank?
I wondered that myself.
Seems
Yeah.
like, especially
They flew
when you
right off the wall.
especially when you have Chuck and Bobby who are like implementing all these brand new safety procedures like every day. But I loved when he was being chased by the file cabinets and they like he moved to the left and they like moved to the left and right
Yeah.
and he like they looked around the corner. I love that stuff. I was laughing really hard at the opening.
And then he goes in his explanation. He's like, "Those file cabinets were chasing me, especially that one."
I liked it. I just didn't know how that translated to him being a magnet. How being electrocuted.
It honestly is introduced as something you just sort of have to expect. And at the beginning of the movie, when it happens with this, whatever it is, what floor waxer,
Yeah.
I thought it was just a bad gag. Like we were gonna do this, and it was a shitty gag. But then his magnetic powers were like essential to the plot of the movie going forward.
It's literally the only way he survives being executed.
He'd be dead if
Yeah,
not
they kill Ernest in this movie.
He
Yeah.
goes legitimately to the electric chair.
Yeah.
He is electrocuted. And he is then only able to escape from prison due to the electrical conductor of the electric chair activating his magnetic powers.
Yeah, he became a real shocker situation, right? Like that horror film where
Wes Craven.
Yeah. I really also enjoyed the scene when he went to dinner with Charlotte and he was magnetized and the forks and stuff kept moving at him and he got the lobster on his face. I thought that was all funny and really good. But yeah, his home, he's got like a real Pee Wee Herman style.
It's like Rube Goldberg
It's
machines all over the
It's
place.
all Rube Goldberg machines. I thought of Pee Wee Herman as well. I know that in between the second and third movie, I want to say there was briefly a Saturday morning TV show called Hey Vern. It's Ernest, and I wondered if that was like a ripoff of the Pee Wee Herman show at Pee Wee's Playhouse, and now like we've incorporated that into the movies.
Yeah, you have to assume that. And did even Pee Wee had a dog, right? He had to spec the little like dog. So then they introduced rim shot, another thing I thought Dan related to. You're really into rim shots, right?
Yeah, I love that old technique when you tell a joke and then
I think he's thinking of rim jobs. I think
I know what he's thinking of. Jesus.
I think that might have been my first reaction too when they said rim shot the dog. I was like, "What a rim shot?" And then I realized.
Well, you know what? It wasn't mine, so you're projecting on me.
Yeah, listen to that.
For heaven's sake! Hey, Tim. We all know that you named your son after Angel's son from the TV show Angel, Connor.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
Not Steven.
Did you name your youngest daughter after the female lead from Ernest Goes to Jail?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
What's her
where we
name?
got it from. Was
Charlotte.
My oldest daughter is Charlotte.
I was like, the younger. That's not the youngest.
What was the youngest one?
We don't have to say all his kids' name on the podcast. I don't think.
The youngest's name is Everly. So
Oh
named
yeah.
after no one. So yeah,
Her
just
middle name's
Michael
not named after somebody, but I won't
She's
say
named
it.
after Michael Weatherly from NCIS.
yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
that's of course. I love
You,
it.
you heard that name, you were like, if you just turn that on its side, it'd
Yeah,
be a
let's
sweet
get rid of
girl's
the.
name.
Let's drop the W. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did not name Charlotte unless it was subconscious. So there you go. We wanted my wife wanted to call her Charlie, but we didn't want to give her Charlie as the name so she could have it could be a nickname. But then when she came out, we're like, this is not a Charlie, this is a Charlotte.
You never
So,
call her Charlie?
not
in
once.
the
I
show
never
Good Luck
called her once.
Charlie, the girl's name was Charlotte, but they called her Charlie. I think that's a cute name, Charlie.
Yeah, it is a cute name, but when we had her as a baby, we were like, this is a Charlotte.
Charlie
Her
XCX.
nickname is
pretty big right now.
Cha Cha. Her nickname
Yeah.
is
Cha-cha.
Charlie's one of the biggest names in the world for a girl right now. Brat Summer, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could go
I-
by Charlie, Daniel. You
I
choose not
could.
to.
It's my middle name. Charlie DCE.
All right. What does the XCX stand for?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyway, Brat,
XCX.
good record.
Exy,
You know,
sexy.
people say that Brat was so like revolutionary for pop music, but there's this band I listen to called Holy Child. They're like this like indie pop group, and they had a record a few years ago called "The Shape of Brat Pop to Come." It's like they predicted Brat.
That is kind of crazy. It's like the exact phrasing of what happened.
I know. Somebody should give him some credit.
You
You
just
know what?
did.
I just
Look.
did.
You know what? Logan can be a brat sometimes.
Wow. How dare you?
It is true.
He'll be
That's
like
fair.
on Letterbox, he'll be like, I loved it, and then give it 4 stars. It's like, what's the point of loving something?
What,
if
juror
you're
number
only gonna
2?
give
You
it
can't love
4?
something and give it 5 stars or 4 stars?
Well, what that means you liked it, not love.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Also, probably once a month, I'll be like, Logan, how was your weekend? And he'll respond like, shitty. The podcast would be successful if only you weren't such a piece of shit.
I'd say that's once every 6 weeks. Once a month is harsh.
Sure.
Once a month is
Six weeks might be more accurate.
Yeah, but that's all fair.
You old motherfucker. You are actively trying to sabotage this podcast.
Yeah, sounds just like me.
Uh-huh. I know.
You know what I mean?
All right.
But I always add that so you know I'm being funny.
Right, yeah. Don't forget. All right. So
It gets called the jury duty. That's what happens.
I want to talk with the bank first.
Okay.
It's a crazy set. It's a very large set, and it looks like the office of the bank manager Pendle Smythe is just like it's like a little office. But like it's its own set. It doesn't have a ceiling. It's very strangely done.
No, you're right.
And they almost never have any extras working in there, like doing other jobs. It's just like the only people that work at this bank are like they have 2 armed security guards. There's a magnetically charged janitor. There's Charlotte, the one bank teller, and then there's the bank manager, Pendle Smythe. What I also didn't appreciate is that at the beginning of the movie, Ernest calls him Pendle Smythe with no problem, like 3 times in a row, and then all of a sudden it's a gag for the rest of the movie. He doesn't know how to say the name. It's a Pendy Schmoot or whatever. Like you said it. We know
Really?
you know how.
He only did that when he was nervous, when he was trying to go for the job. That was his lack of confidence.
Not true. He was saying it to Charlotte, and I feel like he's confident in his scenes with Charlotte.
You're saying he was
he's
messing it
not.
up with Charlotte?
He was
Yeah.
all nervous.
Yeah,
to
he was
go on
he was
the
definitely
date
messing
with
it
her.
up. I remember that with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Mm,
All right. Well, you got
I
me.
don't know what's up with that.
He's a goofball. This Ernest guy.
but he's inconsistent.
That's fair.
I need some consistency with this shit.
That's
Maybe
fair.
the curse was activating more at that point. We now know he was cursed the whole time. Maybe the curse just flared up at that point.
The curse waxes and wanes. I don't think that's
I don't
true.
think so. I think the curse moves through the generations, rises. All
It's
right.
yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. dating
guys
back
ever
to his Phineas Worrell.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the original Ernest that got cursed. Or
how
Is there a
shocked
verb?
how how shocked would either of you be to find out like tomorrow that your bloodline's cursed? Like, would you be like,
It made me feel better.
Honestly, same. Like,
I'd be like that. Okay, I can breathe
yeah,
now.
right. I won't be so
I'm
harsh on
cursed.
myself going
That's what it
forward.
is. I'm just
Had
cursed.
I never had a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that would make me feel so much better.
Mm.
That's why I love the movie Hereditary so much. Because I'm like, holy shit, this can happen. You're just like a whole bloodline of evil witches trying to kill your son.
Yeah. You know,
It can happen.
I like it for that internet thought who gets decapitated.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. Well, what else? All right, so he goes to jury duty.
Well, we did learn that those guys are brothers, Chuck and Bobby. I don't think we knew that until this movie. They confirmed that they're brothers, unless they were just playing around.
yeah?
But they say they're brothers.
Did you guys notice that in these two films there was no Vern segments? He didn't talk
Yeah, I
to the
did
camera.
actually.
There isn't in camp either. We're 1 for 4 on Vern segments in these movies. And I think that's crazy because Vern is like one of the identifying features of Ernest to me.
In camp, he talks to the camera, but he doesn't say Vern. Is how it's done in 1. But 2, Vern's all over it.
In jail, there is a reference to Vern because when he takes the bath in the washing machine, it's Vern's industrial bubble bath that he's dumping into the washing machine. So I noticed that. I'm like, oh look, Vern. So we know this about Vern. They're friends.
You know what's wild is when I was in high school, I was thinking about this in Scared Stupid because like he was taking the kids off into the woods or whatever.
Mhm.
When I was in high school, there was a security guard at our school, and like some of the kids used to like hang out with him, and he was like this weird older black fellow who like he told us that he was a Vietnam veteran and that he didn't have a penis because it was shot off in Nam.
What?
So yeah, so he was smooth like Ernest, all right. But also his name, I'm not even shitting you. His name was Vern.
What? This is a made-up story.
That is not a made-up story.
Why is he telling the kids he has no genitals? Why is he doing? That's weird.
I don't know. It didn't seem weird to me at the time that his genitals were coming up.
I think that's a line. I think
they
that
were
guy was
coming up.
molesting children.
You think like he wanted like kids
I think
to
that's
be like,
possible. That's really fucking
me.
weird.
Show me.
That's really odd.
I think this is like the anti-Ernest that you knew. This is like the opposite of Ernest, where Ernest is a innocent person who's just dumb.
He's weaponizing that.
Yeah, this guy saw Ernest and he's like, oh, you know what I mean.
That's horrible. I don't. Yeah, that guy was
Vern.
That's yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
No wonder they stopped referencing Vern. He's a freaking pedo.
I never heard anything weird happening with him, but he was just always around. Hey, Vern.
Probably not a good enough looking kid, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. Jury duty. Now I've been meaning to call about this. I've been summoned to jury duty a few times in New York since I moved out to Las Vegas. They don't know I moved here. And my mom is worried that the next time I visit New York, I might get arrested at the airport.
Whoa.
Because I haven't been showing up for jury duty.
Jesus Christ. Have you ever been before?
No, I've never done it.
That's crazy. You leave and then you're getting summoned constantly.
Yeah, there are certain things that you're supposed to do in life as an adult that I've just not done. Get your license, go to jury duty. You don't
have to run down the list. I don't think
there's plenty of them.
Yeah, I've never done it. You ever done it, Tim?
Yeah, I've served on a trial and we
gave a
third strike. Yep.
He's like the one guy like not guilty, and everyone else is like no guilty.
No, I was actually more like a juror 2 situation where I had committed the crime.
You did it! Oh my spoilers! Let's not spoil the film. That's crazy.
Hey, did you guys, when you were watching Juror number 2, did you think about how Tony Collette played his mom in About a Boy?
Oh, I did
Whoa,
not actually.
that's
Now that you
Yeah,
awesome.
mention that, it's pretty cool.
yeah. When they're
Yeah,
sitting on the bench at the end, I was like, wow, they've had a long career together, these two.
Well, that's really cool. I'm glad you told
Yeah.
me that.
Wants a badly drawn boy to pop up on the soundtrack, but
I
can't expect
mostly
that from
thought in
Clint.
that movie about how awesome it was, and then how like every third actor like was bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
all like half of the jury like gave the worst line reads in the world.
I
Oh,
enjoyed him for the most
couple
part.
of them did. Couple of them did.
Yeah. J.K. Simmons, he was awesome.
Well, yeah, he was good, but the old lady or the Asian lady,
JK
like, come
really
on.
disappeared from the movie like halfway through,
Yeah,
though.
Well, on per
they
like
probably
because he could solve the case basically. He's like
Yeah,
on his ass, so they have to kick him out.
I guess so. Uh, all right. So great job with your jury duty anecdotes. So this guy, is he in prison because of you?
yeah, third strike meant he went away for life. So
Whoa, is that true?
attempted murder, yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Um his name was Henry even. So there you go.
What
Reference.
was? How do you attempt?
Yeah, what happened?
He shot at this guy who
Did he hit
the
him?
guy the guy that got shot at was came in and lied on on the stand, and the defense attorney was like, hey, look, you just got a motorcycle that was gifted to you, how'd you get that? And like treated the guy that was was being shot at as a hostile witness. So
The guy who shot the guy
mhm.
bought him a motorcycle to
Yeah,
get him to shut up on the stand.
yeah,
Wow.
Wow, you got involved in like an interesting case.
yeah, it was pretty good. It was it was pretty.
Did you go to the follow-ups of now that guy's on trial? You go to like see that guy in court?
No, I did not follow
I might
the
have. I
story.
would have been involved, like invested.
No, I wouldn't have done like what juror number 2 did and go back to the sentencing. I just wanted to move on. It's
Oh my
um
God. He was dumb for that. He was dumb for going to the scene of the crime. Bro, just keep that shit to
But they always go back
yourself.
to the scene.
Lock
That's the
it
thing.
down.
yeah, yeah.
They
He
always
made a
go
lot
back.
of mistakes. I mean,
No.
that guy, yeah.
Getting
did not
married.
make it-
That
Clint
was a
didn't make any
mistake.
mistakes.
What? No, are you kidding me? If you got a Zoe Deutsch, if you got a shot there, go for
No,
it.
of course.
But he did make a mistake impregnating her. So he's in jury duty. What, he gets
There's a
spotted
bad
by
guy. The guy that's the defendant who sees him and is like, "You look like my friend in jail. I'm gonna swap you out so that he can save me on the jury."
right.
So that's what
Right.
happens.
And they
Mr.
just
What's
make
his
that
name?
happen. Like
Yeah, no
the way-
problem. It's
The
so
way
easy.
they're able to do it though is like the jury goes on a trip.
I had questions about that. Does that
It's
happen?
so-
They go on a field
this
trip around the
never
jail.
happens. This never happens. Like sometimes, very rarely, by the way, but sometimes you hear about a jury going on a trip to the scene of the crime.
Of course,
This happens in juror number 2. It of course happened famously in the OJ trial. But I have never heard of the fucking jury going to visit the prison.
It also happened in the movie or the TV show Jury Duty, where they prank that guy.
James Marsden
Um,
show.
Yeah, the James Marsden show. Remember, they end up at they go and visit the crime scene, and then they go to Applebee's. Um,
Well,
that was good. You watch that show, Dan?
No,
Oh,
shit.
you'd like
It was
that
pretty
show.
popular when it came out.
I would never. It was on Freevee. I can't deal with the commercials.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. I'm sure you could.
I
Ask,
can barely watch shit on Amazon Prime now that they have like a couple commercials. It infuriates me.
Really, Amazon Prime does that.
Yeah. And they pay like my mom pay, I use my mom's Amazon Prime. I think she pays like $130 a month or whatever,
It's a
or
year.
a year. Yeah, yeah. But it's fucking insane. And
A
you
month.
still have to watch commercials. Get out of here.
Honestly,
You know
That's
what,
so stupid.
Logan? Go kill Bezos.
all right, I will.
And write on the bullets, like ads. Right.
Oh, he's gonna
For what?
write rings of power on the
Yeah.
bullets.
Yeah. Sell more ads.
I'll
More-
put Joss Boy number 2 on the bullets. They'll be like, who the
because
fuck is this?
he put defend, depose, right?
The
Like,
test or something.
yeah,
Not the
something
test,
like that.
So 3Ds.
Yeah, man. Fucking
Defend.
nailed it.
Defend.
D Train was the
I
third
said
one.
that.
D
one
train. Yeah,
already.
D train. D something.
That's
D
what you should
something.
write. Yeah, write D train on one of the bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Logan,
I don't think I'd
Henry,
kill
D
Bezos.
Train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the three of us, the three hosts. Tim, would you want to be on one of the bullets?
No thanks. I'll be fine being a literal listener at that point.
Are you kidding me? That would become your new claim to fame, baby.
I would be the guy who's like, yeah, I knew them before this happened. They seemed like okay guys to me.
We'd be folk heroes.
For killing Bezos?
We'd be better guys. Are you kidding me? Luigi Mangione, he's the hero this country deserves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna die?
Are you against shooting
Murder?
CEOs?
No, I'm pro killing CEOs. I'm just kind of anti-murder in the most.
I just don't think he wants to be
Element.
associated with it on a podcast.
Oh my god. Is this some sort of religious nonsense?
No, it's not religious at all. It's morals. Some people have morals.
Some people just deserve to die, baby.
Then you pull the trigger. I'm not gonna do it for you.
I 100% agree. I think most CEOs probably do, except for I think there's only probably
Not Triple
3
H.
good CEOs.
Logan, I have nieces. I have a family. I have a girlfriend. You got nothing, baby. You just got this podcast. So
This is
help out
parody.
the podcast.
Parody
All right.
comedy. This is a parody. joke.
All right, we can pretend it is.
You have to legally say that it's a parody.
Oh,
Kill Bezos.
Parody.
You
Get
can't do
him.
Ernest, that was a weird quote when Ernest said that. Right? Hey, did you notice that Chuck, when they pick up fake Ernest from jail, Chuck goes, "Hey Ernest, where's your sky piece?" And he was referring to his hat.
His hat. Yeah, I've
Wow.
never heard that before. Who
Sky
calls a
piece.
hat a sky piece?
Bobby
Chuck
does.
does.
Oh, Chuck
No,
does.
Bobby doesn't really talk.
Oh yeah.
He did say one thing at the end. He's sort of like
Yeah.
Silent Bob. Like,
Yeah.
only when he has something important to say,
Gosh.
he'll pop in.
You love Kevin Smith. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out
seriously.
my Kevin Smith t-shirt today.
Just like Silent Bob.
I purchased this shirt at his comic book store in New Jersey.
Ooh,
Wow,
the
from
secret
the show?
stash?
Yeah, from the secret. Yeah, from that show, Comic Book Man.
Holy shit! I used to watch that after The
Were
Walking
you
Dead
excited
sometimes.
to
Mhm.
see Walt Flanagan and the other guy?
They weren't there that day, but I did meet Walt Flanagan at a comic book convention once, and he
Whoa.
signed my Clerks DVD.
Wow, is he even in that one? I think
Yes, of course he is.
He's on the roof or something, right? Like playing hockey.
The hockey?
He's
probably.
he's the Eggman.
Oh yeah, the Eggman.
Yeah. All right, and he's the guy that gets offended when Randall shows him like a naked lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other weird thing in Ernest Goes to Jail was when Charlotte's upset at Ernest or Bad Ernest, because Bad Ernest is making a move on her and she's not into it, right? Because
Mhm.
he's mean. She says, "You're a real Slimer, P World."
Yeah.
Slimer.
Yeah, Slimer I liked. I might
Yeah, of course.
incorporate that.
Yeah, you're a real Slimer, Dan, right?
Well, I love slime, and I think that's a good thing. And instead of calling somebody a slime ball or a scumbag, call him a slimer. I think that's
Mhm.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's just the thing from Ghostbusters, isn't it?
I mean, I guess.
He's a ghost, yes, from
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he's ecto something
Yeah.
cooler.
Well, of course, I am thinking about Lady Ghostbusters, my favorite
Mm.
film of all time.
I actually like that
And-
movie more than
Yeah,
most
you
people.
would.
I
Well,
gave it a 3.
I like it more than the fucking Jason Reitman ones.
I gave it a
agree.
3. I actually did like it.
Yeah.
I gave it a 3 also. I think.
Um,
Holy shit!
So Rimshot the dog, I always thought this move was hilarious by Evil Ernest, where he just throws the dog in the trash can
Yeah.
and like closes the lid.
And then Ernest finds him like, who would throw a perfectly good dog away?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I see, but in general, I think Evil Ernest improves Ernest's life immeasurably. Like he
The girl
gives him,
realizes how sweet real Ernest is
yeah,
comparatively.
but he also like gives Ernest some confidence in the ability to talk to Pendleschmish, and also he changes Ernest's whole house. He gets rid of all the Rube Goldberg items and he just redecorates the entire thing. Like when she comes to visit him at his house later and he's wearing that fuck me robe and trying to like get in there, like the apartment looks so much better. At the beginning of the movie,
not Ernest.
Ernest is constantly getting injured by his own Rube Goldberg device.
But he liked that.
Why? Just have a normal house. You are not smart. You're not smart enough to use normal furniture and normal devices. Just go home, have a television, have a couch.
Live
all
like
right?
Spike.
Have a shower. Don't bathe in your fucking dryer or whatever. Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, guys,
This guy needed an intervention, and he got one in the form of this murderer.
That's fair.
you made me think about the fact that Ernest, a Vietnam vet who has mutant powers and is cursed, he's able to afford a home. And I don't think any of us are able to, right? Like,
Well, definitely not.
Yeah, well, it was the early '90s. You know,
Does he not have a home in the second in Christmas? Are they not at his house in that one?
he's
they
in
go to
Florida.
Vern's house.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're okay, right? Of course.
We're like in Missouri, right? Like,
I think that's the next one. Or are we
Yeah.
both in Missouri?
Wow.
I don't know
Briarville,
where-
Missouri. Briarville, Missouri opens the next one.
Yeah, but I don't know where this takes place. But clearly, he's from Briarville, Missouri, because that's where his ancestors
Right.
are located, and he still lives there.
I guess that's where we are here.
In jail, I liked all his attempts to escape. I liked how he whittled the AK-47 out of.
That was funny.
I like that too.
I like how he didn't realize that the swap happened. He still thought they were the jury. There were a lot of jurors hanging around here.
Yeah,
That was funny.
I liked how his prison outfit had a vest.
I like
too.
that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
I also think that I really love the old woman character that he plays. I think that's really good. And he gets the
Nedna.
ball and chain.
It's like, I think it's Auntie Nedna.
Yeah.
They give her own credit in the which annoys me because it's just Ernest doing that character.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have. It shouldn't be like Jim Varney getting multiple credits. Like that's part of the Ernest characters that sometimes he does this old lady.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he did it in Saves Christmas to sneak onto the set or whatever, and yeah.
What was up with the line here?
Yeah.
Did you guys catch this? He says when he's dressed as the woman, he says, "Does anyone smell fish?"
I gotta
What do you
say,
think that means?
Why? Well, obviously, but why is that? That's so weird.
yeah, I thought that was odd too.
There's some weird sexual stuff in Ernest.
Can I just say something? I listened to last week's episode, Logan, and you never included that line about the kids saying, "I
listen." The thing is, now that I upload an audio and a video, if there's any edits, I have to edit both things at the same. It takes a lot. It's like I've like doubled the work I do now.
Oh my!
So they're less edits.
Less edits. I like the edits. The edits are good. It's part of what makes the show good. This lazy
you and Henry
bastard.
Did it for
He's not
7
doing
years, no edits.
Yeah, and it was terrible.
The Home Alone episode, I just listened to it. Henry's minute is in that episode. It's just Henry talking. But you should edit that out.
You're right.
All right.
Heed your own advice.
All right. Next time I'll make an edit.
For heaven's sake. Go
Come in
kill
with
a
timestamps.
CEO.
Tell me some timestamps next time. You don't realize the amount of that's a lot of extra work.
What else do you have going on?
Lots of other stuff.
I gotta play some basketball, listen to a Taylor Swift record.
All right.
Motherfucker, you're in
I'm not
the
gonna be
top.
judged for the work I do in
You're
this
in the top
podcast. What is this?
3% Spotify rap Taylor Swift listeners. Outrageous.
You're at 5%. What?
I know. I know.
What are you doing?
He's just jealous.
I
Yeah,
am
that
just
sounds
jealous.
like it.
All right.
Meanwhile, I'm getting a video from Weird Al Yankovic, so no big
Oh,
deal
shit.
there.
That's cool.
Really?
His
What
video was awesome.
percentage? What percentage were you?
I didn't see. I'll have to look, but I got a video from Weird Al, and he was eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I heard people were saying the Mariah Carey one looked like it was AI.
Yeah. Well,
The thank you video,
that's pretty good. Why not?
I guess. All right, Logan. I'm sorry I snapped at you. I wanted to hear that line. I like when I got up to it in the episode. I was like, oh, sweet, and then you just switch.
Oh.
Just skipped right by it.
It was
Go
it
to
was
Disney Plus and watch the film again. You can hear.
Logan, it was funny because like the way you said, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll do that." I got that you weren't going to.
I didn't even add in the Razzies music from like the from when it run one of the Razzies.
What the hell? These are staples.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't.
The did you guys think the dog was a good actor?
Sure.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
His name was Barkley. I saw in the credits,
Oh,
which is a good name for a dog because that's something dogs do, bark.
that's true.
Oh, I thought it was like a Charles Barkley reference. Sorry.
Mm.
He barked. That's true. He did bark. I like at the end after Ernest, of course, like gets so electrocuted that he can fly and basically is Superman. He flies through a glass pane window, which of course he's
Guess
not
that's why they call it
shredded
window
at
pane.
all. Yeah. He flies through it. And then the warden like looks up and goes, he's getting away, and like is angry at
Charles
the
Napier, by
other
the way.
guards who like none of them are like, holy shit, a man is flying. They're more upset that he's flying away. And then he blows up, and then he said, I saw, I got blued up.
Blowed up.
Oh yeah, that's the very end. But yeah, there's Charles Napier. There's legitimate actors in this one. Charles Napier, his cellmate who like decides like I'm actually gonna help him. I recognized him as the guy who steals the dog at the beginning of Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What did evil Ernest do to get put on death row or in like to be executed? Do we know? They never really say, right?
I don't think we do know. And I mean, it's got to be something. He's getting fucking. He's on death row.
Yeah. He also like he's not like that bad a criminal because like the other gangs are constantly fighting him, right? Like that's the whole problem is Ernest is constantly being confronted by the other gang members in prison. And he, of course, Ernest wins them all over with his kind-heartedness and stupidity. So
Well, he's good, and it's not really talked about, but he spent a little time in prison in Saves Christmas, and he got a lot. I mean, he wasn't locked up, but he got Santa Claus out of prison.
okay.
And I feel that he got along with all the prisoners there. He's just an affable guy. He can get along with any group of people, whether it be random kids, whether it be mythological figures, whether it be bank tellers, whether it be, prisoners, hardened criminals.
I think only people in authority are hate Ernest. Like it seems like instantly the warden and instantly Mr. whatever his name was, the manager at the bank.
Kendall Smythe.
We're just like, you fucking idiot, you're so fucking stupid. Like, oh my god, I hate you, but I'm not gonna fire you because that would be probably a hate crime.
I mean, this bank mainly employed
people.
What are we gonna call it?
Say whatever you want to say, Daniel. Say the word. We know you want to say it. Say it.
Our words. All right.
Logan's so funny, Logan.
I'm gonna add a bleep, so everyone's gonna think you said the real R word.
Are you kidding me? You never do something as strenuous as add a bleep sound effect to the
Oh,
show.
please.
Yeah. Fucking but it's like the whole staff over there. Charlotte's the only one with a brain at that bank.
Yeah. Well, we said there are 3 workers there, and 2 of
I
them
know,
are
but
security.
but the security guards are morons.
I know. I like when they're walking around, like spinning around. The big guy, like
Oh, I
spins
like
around.
that too. That was a good spin move.
That was
I
good.
also I like how they're Ernest's neighbors. They live right next door, and they set up the gun range facing the door. So you walk in, you're immediately getting shot at. They have landmines on their
Oh
front
yeah,
lawn.
I like that.
Yeah, and then he like blows away that gingerbread man.
Tim just left the call.
What the fuck
Don't know what
just happened?
Do I have to invite him again, or is he gonna be able to join?
I don't know. Let's text him.
Yeah, I guess I'll send him one just to make sure. Oh no, here he is.
He's
He popped
back.
right back in. Hey Tim, I don't know what just happened. Yeah, so we had the landmines. What happened?
I don't know. It just dropped. Like the whole Zoom stopped.
Not for us. We were still here.
Well,
Just
crazy.
kicked you out. What were you saying though? You remember something about landmines after the landmines?
Yeah. And then they like the gingerbread man pops out of the toaster and just he blows him away. Like this guy loves guns.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so did you guys like the ink pen gag?
Yeah, like
on the jury, he bit into the ink pen and it got all over.
Oh,
his
I
face.
hated that. It was disgusting.
So gross. But it was
the
pretty
thing
fun.
I liked about the jury duty was when the judge was like, "This is gonna be up to you to decide this man's fate," and that like Ernest is like, "Me personally? Oh my gosh!" Like that, I laughed at. But yeah, the pen stuff was gross, and then he ate the paper for some reason. I hated that, and so.
I agree. The judge, by the way, we do a lot of this. Like we're just swapping occupations. The judge in this movie she was an officer in the Christmas movie, and then she's the teacher in the 4th movie. So they're just really recycling these people, putting them in different roles.
John Cherry using all his pals.
Yeah, seems like it. She's Jackie Welch. The actor.
Okay. Did you think about how did this get made at all? I used to listen to a lot of that podcast. There's an early-ish episode.
Oh, Tim left again. You can keep going though.
Where
I used to listen sometimes.
Oh my god.
We're having issues. I don't know what's going on with Tim.
All right, yeah. There's an early-ish episode where like they cover this movie and June Diane Raphael's sort of horny for evil Ernest.
Okay.
So I kept thinking about that. Like, is he? I'm trying to like. Does that guy have vibes, like good sexual vibes? And like I could sort of see it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting to see Jim Varney like turning off the wackiness and like trying to be a cool guy.
I don't know if I always bought. I did a little bit when the swap happened. I didn't like that part. I thought like when he's standing over there, like, "Hey, Ernest," he looked too much like Ernest, like his posture. He didn't do a great job with the posture there.
Yeah,
he should have been like
he was
more
always doing that.
straight,
But maybe
like,
that was part of it. Like they had to make him look just like the guy.
like more relatable. He can trust him. He can go over there to trust him.
No. I mean, like it had to be, you had to buy that they would get them confused.
Yeah, but I mean, later on when he's doing the act, I mean, there's like before he's doing the act and late when he's doing the act. I don't know.
Hey, Tim,
it was good though.
I've got a question. What the fuck?
I wish I knew. Like Zoom just crashed again for me, so I restarted it. So hopefully, sorry guys.
That's all right.
Okay.
I agree. What the fuck? So
I'm not making any edits, so that's just going all the way through.
Great.
Clean.
We know.
I feel like you guys are actually fighting, but
I'm I wasn't, but I felt like Logan was offended by my
I mean, the fact that I'm being
criticism.
criticized for the amount of work I do on the show is crazy,
It's
honestly.
just joking. It's all
I
comedy.
was just joking. I really was.
You do that a
but
lot. You
I
just joke
felt
a
like
lot.
you got yes, because we're on a comedy podcast.
But you just joke a lot is the
No,
thing.
I don't. You think I'm just joking, and I am just joking.
Because we have like 4 Patreon questions here that would not be here if one of us didn't upload asking for questions. And that wasn't you that asked for questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And I do
guys.
that with every episode. That's just a thing you don't have to worry about, you know? You know the
There's
thing, you know the thing in film where it's like everything's on the screen? I feel like that's with Daniel. There's a lot of stuff that's not on the podcast that I do that you guys just don't know. But like everything Daniel does.
I know, though. It's
Okay.
amazing. Like I'm intensely appreciative of the work you do to the show. I can't make jokes about you being a lazy little layabout with no job. I mean,
You're not actually that.
I mean, you are, but you do a lot of work for the podcast.
Do a lot of work. Yeah, he knows it. It was. I'm sorry, I called you a brat. That was a joke.
No, it's fine.
That's what started all of this.
No, it's fine.
You need to toughen up, kid.
Okay, all right. Hey, Ernest, I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. Ernest Goes to Jail. Loved it. This one, I didn't love it because I didn't give it 5 stars, but I did give it 4 stars because I liked it.
Okay. I'll go 2.
Yeah, I'll go 2. It's
All
the
right.
best of the 4, but I mean, let's
You
not
guys
go
aren't even
crazy
going to give it
here.
3.
No.
Maybe one day.
There's so much shit in here, like the ink gag and the electrocution
Yeah,
stuff.
that made no sense.
That is just like terrible.
Maybe
Just-
one day. I'm gonna go and tell you right now that on Letterboxd, Dan had given it 3 stars.
I know.
I did notice that myself. Yeah.
So
Maybe this is
downgrade
a 3.
there.
It's the last one with Chuck. So
Yeah, you
Gotta
love
stand for
you.
something.
I pronounce you Chuck and Larry fan, or
Chuck and Bobby.
and Bobby fan.
Chuck and Bobby.
I thought
I
it
am.
was delightfully short. I'll say that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was great. Like that. I wish the Scared Stupid was as short as this one.
No, Scared Stupid. You feel the length a little bit.
Yeah, half an hour in, I was like, I wish this was over.
Yeah, I know. I don't like supernatural stuff. You know that about me. And
Mhm.
so Scared Stupid got on my nerves a little bit. I kind of just want to see him hanging around, like being wacky in a normal scenario. I want him in jail, camp. These are things I could wrap my brain around.
That's fair.
Yeah. Space. He would have been good in space as well.
I'm excited
So-
for the basketball one. I feel like that'll be good.
Do you guys
I
know what
doubt it.
rides?
Is he gonna play basketball? He has no athletic ability at all. I don't trust that he can dribble.
What if
a
he gets
ball.
electrocuted and then he can like
You
dunk?
still have to buy that watching him play basketball that he'd be any good.
What about do you guys know anything about Rides Again?
No, I sort of assumed it was like maybe a Western one.
Yeah.
Ernest gets stuck in a
Or a
cannon,
porno.
and that's the movie.
What?
Yeah, get ready for that.
But why? Like how's that a movie?
Stuck in a what?
A cannon, like an old-fashioned cannon.
Why is that titled that then? I don't get it.
He's like riding on the cannon, which is like out of control, like going down the road and stuff, and
What?
wacky adventures ensue. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Yeah, MVP's Ernest for me, playing dual
gotta go
roles.
Ernest. Yeah, I agree. Not just 2 roles though. He's playing like the old lady and a bunch of other people.
That's Ernest.
Yeah, but that's Ernest doing it.
All right.
Right, but he's doing an old lady. That's what I'm saying.
It's true. And he does I think Stallone and James Cagney, some great impressions in this
Yeah,
one.
he
as
does.
well.
What's his name from Casablanca? Even.
Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Now yeah, you gotta go with him MVP in this one. He's really tearing it up, Varney. Who's your LVP?
I don't know. Oh, the girl. Oh no, that's the second movie. I don't know. Who's bad here?
I'm
I
not
don't really
sure.
like I don't really like the bank manager.
Oh, I hate the bank manager. You're right. I'll go with that guy.
All right, I'll agree. I like the
Man,
guy
I
Lyle, his little friend in jail. He
Lyle's
looks like a
good,
bad
yeah.
guy, but he's kind of got like a heart of gold.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's the guy
Yeah.
who stole the dog and
He says
Ace Ventura.
whenever Ernest is leaving, he's like, "This place won't be the same without you." You know what I mean? And Ernest says, "If anyone does." I
I
enjoyed
See?
just
that.
See? Extra star just for that joke. That's a
All
good
right,
joke.
fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
just looked up Charlotte, the love interest or whatever. And she played Devon Sawa's mom in the original Final Destination.
Holy shit,
Whoa.
that's
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
awesome. Um, did you see what her name was?
Barbara
That she was
Tyson.
credited as?
Barbara
Yeah,
Bush.
Barbara Bush.
I couldn't
Oh,
believe that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, wow, they scored a first lady for this one.
Yeah, pretty good.
Mhm.
And I
All
liked at
right.
the end they tell Ernest like, "Do you want to put on the blindfold to get electrocuted?" He says no because he's scared of the dark. And he says doesn't want a cigarette because it'll kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, which I thought was very sad because eventually cigarettes do kill Ernest.
Oh my goodness, but that's very
Yeah.
true.
Hmm.
He's looking like worse and worse in each movie, like more and more leathery as
His
each movie goes along a little bit.
Yeah, I
his
know.
his IMDb photo, he's like straight up yellow. Like you can
No,
see
really.
the carcinogens in his skin. It's
Mm.
crazy.
Carcinogens. That's crazy.
Stay away from those cigarettes, gang. All right.
Yeah.
Don't smoke.
Vape
Yes,
instead.
yes, kill CEOs, but do not smoke cigarettes. All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What was that? I feel like you have disdain for me right now, Logan.
What do you mean? What's that? I didn't do anything.
Oh, okay. I was
I
reading
literally
into
didn't do
the.
a single
He
thing.
was
All right, all
agreeing.
right,
There's
all
a
right.
weird tension, and I'm in the middle. I feel like last time this
I don't even know what
happened
just
too.
happened just now. I was literally just waiting for you to move on to the next movie.
No, yeah, I know. He's all sensitive from you getting upset earlier. So
Yeah, I am.
this happened during Hubie also. Maybe it's me.
You bring it
Maybe.
out on us. Yeah, we get along without you.
Or do I
Yeah.
just show up every 6 weeks or whatever? Is that my problem? Is like
Yeah, right at the time where it happened.
I hit the wrong week.
Hmm.
Because last week I think you guys were on fire. I really like the Ernest coverage. But Scared
was
Stupid.
great.
Anything we needed to know about that, Dan? I'm gonna keep us moving.
Yeah, it was directed by Cherry again. We've got writing credits by Charlie Gale and Coke Sams. And
Coke's the first name?
Coke's the first name. Yeah.
Cherry
Coke
Coke.
Sam's.
There's a thing out there, Sam's, like, Sam's Club.
Soda.
They have their
Yeah,
own type of
Sam's
Sam's
soda.
Cola,
Yeah. Yeah.
like Sam's
Wow.
Coke, but now this is Coke Sam's. It's like the
Yeah.
reverse of that.
And John Cherry, their team Cherry Coke.
Cherry,
Yep.
that's Daniel's favorite drink. You should have got one for this episode. That'd be pretty good.
I should have. I all I have left is one orange soda. I need to
Ooh,
go
orange
out.
soda.
Yeah.
That's the worst kind of soda.
You
That
know
is
who
not the worst kind of soda at
You know
all.
who
Like
loves
Orange is very
orange
Fanta
good.
or
soda?
Sunkissed or what?
Sunkissed.
I don't like orange soda. It didn't really matter which one you said, honestly. I don't like
I
you know who
like
loves
grape-
orange?
I like
like
grape. I
grape
prefer grape.
soda. Yeah,
Grape's
grape's
better.
good. Grape's
Grape's
good. I haven't had that in a while.
Mhm.
What were you saying, Tim?
Oh, I was just trying to say Kel loves orange soda. So
Oh, Kel does love orange soda.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, this came out October 11th, 1991, on a budget of $9.6 million. Probably too high for an Ernest movie, if I'm being honest. And it made 14.1 million at the box office. These grosses are starting to slip. This is the last Disney produced Ernest film. We go independent after this one. And it came in at number 85 at the box office that year, between Flight of the Intruder, which I think is a Vietnam War movie, and Drop Dead Fred.
whoa,
Drop Dead Fred.
it feels apt that he's in between. Of course, he's a Vietnam vet.
True.
And also he's
Might as well be imaginary.
Yeah, he might as well be an imaginary character. In
Yeah.
fact, that would be like, I wondered if, like, what if Ernest just died and the rest of the movie was like him, like we're seeing like his dream as he's dying, and these are what the rest of the movies are. He actually gets executed at the on the electric chair, and everything else is just like
Oh,
the last moments of his
wow.
life.
Wow.
That's an interesting theory. He does die on the electric chair. I would go along with that theory if we hadn't seen him get magnetized earlier in the film. It's established that he
It's
has that
well
power.
set up.
Yeah.
Well, what if then he actually gets electrocuted to death by that by the floor waxer, and the rest of the movie is all
Oh, now
like
that I could get on board with.
like it only makes sense because I don't think he gets electrocuted ever in any of the other previous movies. Although, what if he, you know, he gets shot in Goes to Camp, right? Like the guy's point blank
Shot
shoots
at.
him.
He doesn't get shot.
Well, what if he is shot and the rest of everything has just been his last dying moments?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't
Well,
make
now
any
we can do
sense.
this with any movie, like any near-death experience in any franchise. They were saying they die.
This is Henry used to do this all the time. Everything was a fucking Jacob's Ladder scenario.
Yeah, Jacob's Ladder scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't buy this. I think he's still
All right.
alive.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to believe.
Yeah.
You
As
wanna
Fox
believe.
Mulder once put on a poster.
Did you guys like there was slime on the troll's hands? Do you like this troll guy?
Yeah, they
I
look cool.
found him disgusting. The scene where the little girl turns around in bed and the fucking troll is in bed with her, I thought was so fucking disgusting.
But successful, meaning, right? That
I mean,
means
I
that they
guess
got
so,
across what they're trying to.
but also it's a comedy. Like
It's
I don't
scary
know.
though. It's like the
trying
horror.
to toe a line. Like it's trying to be spooky and funny at the same time. Ultimately, I didn't find it spooky or funny, but I guess I did find it gross, and that's something.
I do remember this was the one I saw when I was a little kid. I remember watching some of this one, and it really clicked whenever there's like the troll is pretending to be the little girl in the tube, like, come here, Kenny. And Kenny goes over to the tube and it's the troll. I was like, oh my God. I remember being scared when I was a kid watching that scene.
I thought you were gonna say you had like your sexual awakening watching.
No.
that scene.
I remember
Whoa.
like the feeling of being scared watching that though. Like it's pretty successful. I don't know. I think it's pretty scary sometimes.
Yeah.
I liked the
this
scene
one-
where the dog drives the car.
Yeah, and he like compacts Ernest in the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very beginning.
Yeah.
Terrible job by
I
him.
don't remember that. Oh,
He-
yes, I do.
He
Yes,
falls
I
in the
do.
garbage truck and it's about
Yeah,
to kill
yeah.
him. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
the kid saves him. The little kid's like, "This'll let him out," and then his feet come out. He's all compacted. Is this movie just like Troll 2 but with Ernest? Is that like what I was like? Was there going to be a no bag reference at some point?
Nilbog, right?
Nilbog.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Nilbog.
That's the thing. There's goblins in Troll 2. This one has trolls. It's really more like Troll 1.
It's
Or
so funny because
Goblin
it's
2.
troll. It's troll too, but they're goblins, not trolls, right?
That's right.
That's the weirdest part, I guess.
Mhm. Now, were you Tim? I know you're a fan of a certain franchise. Were you hoping that this troll would start a pop group and go on tour?
Took me too long to get figure out I'm like, how's this related to Shrek? And then I was like, yeah, honestly, this troll is not as cute as the trolls I like. This guy actually looks more like a Bergen, which is kind of the villains in the first
shit.
Trolls movie. And yeah, and of course, I think the one thing that is successful about this film is I did not think about Justin Timberlake at all, which is the major issue with the Trolls franchise. So, how are
he in the
you
first
with Queen
one?
Pop? Yeah, he plays Branch, of course. Dan, have
And
you
he wrote
unlocked
the song "Can't Stop the
But
Feeling"?
that's for the second one, I think.
No,
I
that's
think
the
that's
first
the
one.
first one.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's how the
shit.
end of that's how the end of the first one, when they're all happy and together and they realize you don't have to eat a troll to feel true happiness.
Oh wow.
But
Good message.
Dan, have you unlocked Branch or Queen Poppy in your DreamWorks racing game yet?
One of them. I don't remember which one though. I haven't Branch. Fucking. How do you feel about this? Justin Timberlake. All right. They've got Pharrell movie where he's Legos. All right. You've got a new Robbie Williams movie where he's a monkey. What about Justin Timberlake biopic? Everyone's made out of Lincoln Logs because timber.
Mm.
What do you think?
I thought you were gonna say
Mm,
everyone was mirrors because he has the line.
Oh,
It's
that's
like I'm a
not bad.
mirror or something like that.
If I was a mirror,
Yeah, so now they're all mirrors. He
oh,
got his wish.
mm.
But I like that lick timber.
Lincoln
That's pretty
Logs.
good. And you
Yeah,
can get
yeah, yeah.
Timberland.
Timberland. Yeah, it's not bad.
I
That's pretty
like this
good.
idea. We should pitch
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
We just did, I guess.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
out there.
To Tim, and I'm cold, so Tim Burr for sure.
Oh wow! Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Bill Burr should name his kid Tim. Tim Burr.
No, that's good.
That's
I
like
like
I
it.
just watched this Lisa Frank documentary, and
Who's she?
Lisa. There was like when I was a kid, there were like school supplies with like unicorns on them and shit. There was Lisa Frank. Everyone had it, and you don't remember Lisa Frank, Tim? Are you fucking kidding? You know the movie Lisa Frankenstein? That's just a pun on Lisa Frank.
I had no idea. I assumed it was just a pun on Frankenstein.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I thought too.
No, it's
The
a clever
monster
title because it's
and-
both.
And
But listen, I watched a documentary about Lisa Frank, and she married a fellow with the last name Green. All right. They had 2 kids together. They named the first kid Hunter Green, and they named the second kid Forest Green.
Mm, it's pretty good.
It's like Crayola colors, kind of.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know why I thought of that. What were we talking about? Oh, Tim, you made that
Tim
Bill
Burr.
Burr joke. All right.
Yeah,
All right. What else?
I
is
liked when
on?
the dog got scared and they like made its ears go up. You could clearly see it had strings that they were pulling this poor dog.
Oh no! Oh, Tim just left yet again. But there was a dog harmed in the making of this film, possibly.
Well,
They had to
more
pull
probably
its-
just annoyed.
Yeah, well, maybe emotionally harmed. Why are they doing this to me? That's so sad to think about.
Yeah.
But that might have hurt his little ears, like psh, psh, pulling him up suddenly. Oh, Tim's sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're having issues this week, guys.
You know what I
It's
liked
me.
about this movie? You know how I talk a lot about how kids in the 90s in movies, like they act like boomers because all these movies were made by boomers.
Yeah.
So like in Surf Ninjas, they're really into like the Beach Boys for no reason and shit. I liked at the very beginning, the fucking kid is trying to impress like his little girlfriend at school, and so he busts out a John Wayne impression.
Mm.
There's
that'll get
there's no little kid in the fucking 90s that was doing John Wayne impressions. That's insane.
Yeah.
They were
You're
doing Vern.
probably right.
They were doing Ernest impressions.
Yeah, I
Yeah, but he couldn't do
wondered.
that though.
Yeah, I wondered if since he hung out with Ernest, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do Ernest John Wayne to this lady."
Oh,
or
you
this
think
girl.
Ernest does a John Wayne and he was
Well,
pulling
we've
from
se-
that?
I'm pretty sure he did.
We
a
have
John
seen
Wayne
it, yeah.
in jail, or he does it at one point. Like we do see like the montage of characters, the multiple personalities of Ernest, where he became an Australian guy and he became like a Valley girl and he became.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you've
And
been
they're all like
teasing.
interacting with one another.
Yeah, you've been teasing the blackface, and I think he does yellow face in this.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that. Yeah,
What?
yeah. Yeah. So Ernest, he does do some characters in this movie, and one of them is the old lady. He brings Nedna back, but he also dresses up as this like Mongolian fellow from like the Ottoman Empire, and it's sort of brown face. Or I guess yellow face. Yeah, there's definitely a tint to his skin, and it's very strange.
Wow.
Yeah, well, get used to that. You're about to see some other colors.
Do you know which one
coming
that
up
is,
in
too?
the other movies?
I'm pretty sure Africa, dude.
Oh shit.
That's
gonna be
yeah,
terrible.
but I think he does.
Oh, maybe a little slam dunk Ernest too.
he does. He does. I know he does brown face for sure, and he does brown voice as well. Real Apu
Oh, that
stuff
Brown.
coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So get ready
Well,
for
I'm
that. I
excited.
believe he wears a turban and a diaper as well in that clip.
All right. Nobody
So.
show Hari Kondabolu.
You know who
That
that
the
is,
guy that
Tim?
made that problem with Apu documentary.
What a pull! I'm gonna have to assume that is it. I
We'll
don't
trust
know
you.
his name, but I did watch that movie, and I'll put movie in quotes since it's only like about 50 minutes or something.
Oh, listen to this guy talking shit.
Well, I mean, it's not a feature length film, so there you go. Because
What
I
is
feel
feature
like,
length?
well, I feel like that movie would have been feature length, but Hank Azaria never agreed to be in the movie, so they just kind of run out of steam at some point, and like, are like, we would have got Hank Azaria, but he didn't really want to talk about it.
Yeah, which honestly, fair enough.
Yeah.
Dumbo is an hour and 6 minutes long. People call that feature length. So that's always been my marker. That's as short as you can go.
53? What'd you say?
An hour and 6 minutes, the
Oh, an
original
hour and 6
Dumbo.
minutes. Okay, so 66 minutes. That's the cutoff.
Yeah, for
Fair
me.
enough. I like that.
Well, there you go. Yeah, the troll like has to get kids and turn them into logs, and then he like keeps growing more trolls.
I wonder
unleash
that
the
was like a
babies.
chicken or the egg situation. I wondered like what came first because like at one point he turns like a little kid. He turns like a kid that's like dressed as a Native American into a log. And I wondered whether they just like had a log, like a prop that was a Native American. They were like, well, we could dress a kid as that. It would look like he turned into this.
Wow, a little. I mean, reverse engineering. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I
think that's
wondered
possible.
that. Mm-hmm.
Easier than like molding them after the look of the kids.
Exactly, right? Yeah, you just like find a
I do
bunch
actually
of these
probably think that that's
props
true.
and then just make the kids look like the props.
Because the dog one didn't really look like the dog, did it? Just looked
No,
like
it was just a
weird
dog.
thing. Yeah. I think that's fair.
Tim's never coming on again
Why?
because he incites us. He makes us mad at each other, and he can't even stay on the call.
Yeah. Well, he might not even come back this time. But
I
just
shake
keep
my
going.
head at this. All right.
Did you like the new Bobby?
The new
Chuck? Whichever one got replaced. Now they're Tom. Chuck got replaced with this guy Tom.
Yeah, I did notice that they're like salesmen in this one.
Yeah. Did you notice, by the way, when they were doing the salesman thing, Chuck, I forget their names. He was doing the drums. He was hitting a rim shot. He was like, they were doing like a little. They were actually doing that. I was like, oh my god, the dog's name is Rimshot.
Yeah, I thought you thought the dog was named after licking somebody's butthole.
Oh no, that was Tim. If you remember, Tim thought that.
See, that's why he's never coming back.
Yeah,
trying to shame me. Listen, we all lick butt every so often. You don't do that? You never licked butt? Ever? Really? Not once in your life during sex play have you put your tongue.
Oh, Tim, please come back. Tim, please come back. I gotta say no.
That's crazy to me, man. You're so sheltered.
Eartha Kitt. Let's talk about Eartha Kitt because she was awesome. I thought she was just like
it's always great to see Eartha Kitt, but you know what? When I see Eartha Kitt, I'm gonna require her at least once in the movie to go Row.
What's that from?
That's like a little purr she does from when she was Catwoman in Batman. And you could say, well, she's not Catwoman in this one, but I would argue she was in Harriet the Spy and wasn't Catwoman, and she did it there.
Okay, so it should just be a signature.
Yeah. Anytime Eartha Kitt shows up, Row.
They might have thought it would scare the dog if she started acting like a cat. So don't
you might
do
be right. Hey, Tim. Row.
You know that's from, Tim?
Yeah, Eartha Kitt. She's the Catwoman.
Spot on impression there.
Yeah. Well, I knew it when I saw her, and she's like the most famous person. Hey, Logan, before you kill this CEO, were you just do me first because I'm like so pissed off at this internet situation. So I
Yeah.
feel like that
It
would
might just
be
be
my
a
only
Zoom
relief.
thing. Maybe you should have updated your Zoom or something.
Yeah, maybe that's what I.
Tim, before we lose you, have you ever licked butt?
You was asking me that when you were gone, so I'm glad you're back. No,
A
we can
rim
move on. We
is
can
a
move
rim
on.
shot? Have I
Yeah.
ever done a rim
Have you
shot?
ever done it? Yeah.
You don't have to answer.
Of course, right? We all, it's not a weird thing, Logan. I'm telling you, that's a normal part of sex play to most people. He's licked his wife's butt.
I don't have a wife.
Yeah,
Well, neither do I.
Yeah,
pretty
you're just
good.
a
I've
sicko.
licked
Having a wife is
rando
pretty
butt.
good.
Rando, but
Yeah.
what do you guys think? Eartha Kitt. I thought she was very much. I know this is later, but I think Maz Kanata might be made after this character from Eartha Kitt. It was like spot on. Whatever Lupita Nyong'o's doing for Maz Kanata is this performance.
That's my favorite. Here, that's the thing on the top.
That was just a good point. That wasn't funny though.
No, it was
I think that
funny,
was just spot on.
but it's funny because it's such a good point.
It was so accurate.
It's so fucking accurate.
But it
Eartha
was
Kitt
cool.
should have. She's dead now, isn't she?
Yeah.
She would have been
Probably.
a perfect Maz Kanata.
Lupita's pretty perfect.
Oh,
They just don't give
please.
Maz too much to do.
We're doing the thing where we're hiring like a gorgeous woman to play like a weird dwarf character.
Eartha Kitt's gorgeous.
Yeah, but Eartha Kitt late in life was like looking like a creature. Like, now, I'm not saying an unattractive creature, but a creature nevertheless.
Yeah.
Eartha Kitt, of course, is in another kids franchise, which is really great, and that's the Emperor's New Groove. She plays the villain, and she's really great with Kronk, who's her sidekick,
Putty.
Patrick. Yeah,
Yeah,
Warburton.
she was in Harriet the Spy, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so too, and
Yeah.
she was one of 3 Catwomen, I believe, on the.
Yeah, one of them's
89
Julie
or
Newmar, one of them's Eartha
Yeah.
Kitt, and one of them's probably a third lady.
Yeah, third lady, or maybe
Yeah.
that's Batgirl. I'm thinking of as the third woman.
No, I think there might have been a third Catwoman.
Yeah,
I think you're right about
I feel like Michelle Pfeiffer. I think she's the third.
no.
Zoe Kravitz.
Anne Hathaway.
Whoa, there's
Oh,
a lot
I
of
forgot about her.
Catwomen, guys. Who's the Catwoman in Lego Batman? Can you name that, Logan? Let's see how good
No.
you are.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Barbara.
You know who I
Bush?
think it is?
No.
I think it might
Gordon.
be.
She's prominent.
I think it's Jenny Slate is Catwoman in
Okay.
Lego Batman. So
I gotta say, I'd pay to see Jenny Slate dressed as Catwoman.
no, there you go.
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
What if but what if Pharrell shows
That's
up
one butt.
in
I
Lego
would-
Batman?
Uh,
You wouldn't mind rim shot in that butt, huh?
do we have to cover the Pharrell movie as part of the Lego franchise?
Yes,
Honestly.
you have to.
Honestly,
It counts. It counts. Maybe it's Batman movie actually because it's
Is there
Lego.
streaming?
Do we have to cover the Robbie Williams movie as part of Planet of the Apes?
No.
It's definitely on Netflix or Rossflix. Is the
Oh,
Lego
wow.
movie?
Wait, let's
Mm.
watch it for the Patreon. We'll just talk about it on Ham Watching here.
Let's do a commentary on the Pharrell Lego movie.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole commentary. Is
I don't
like,
know a lot
why
about
are we
Pharrell.
watching
I'll learn a
this?
lot about
Who
him.
cares? Like, how much of that movie is devoted to him finding that hat? Right? Like, it's got to be like.
Is it the
30
same hat?
minutes.
It's not the
That's
same
got to
hat.
be a big moment in the movie,
Yeah.
like the
Where it's like,
discovery of
oh,
that.
and he like puts it on and it like
Yeah.
makes the Lego click, when they put on a hat and makes
Oh,
like that
yeah.
click noise.
Mm.
Yeah. And then Unikitty shows up and they sing Everything is Awesome. Yeah, I
would
didn't
think
really
they would
take
sing
note.
happy.
Well, I was making
Everything is
Lego
happy.
reference.
Everything is happy. Yeah, that's good. All right. What, you don't have notes, Tim?
There are these bullies, the Murdochs.
I have 2 notes.
Oh yeah, they're sort of like the O'Doyles from Sandler's Oof.
I liked when Ernest caught the bullies in the dumpster and then they were all sad.
Yeah, I don't like seeing people sad, so I didn't like that.
I read
hate-
I read that the pizzas they threw at the bully, remember they used
Yeah.
like a little pizza catapult. I read that the prop master on this film was the same prop master that had worked on the Ninja Turtles films, and that those pizzas were leftover props from the Ninja Turtles movies.
The
Cool.
pizzas themselves?
Yeah.
Oh.
They look pretty shitty, to be honest. They look like bad pizzas when they threw it. I felt like they were throwing garbage, which
Looked
made
like
sense,
Survivor pizza.
Wow.
I
Holy shit.
I loved at one point in this movie where like all the adults are like, these trolls are stealing our kids. Where's our kids? And there's one guy who's like, and our garbage hasn't been picked up in a week.
Yeah.
It was like,
Ernest hasn't picked up my garbage.
Ernest hasn't done his garbage. That's good. These people's kids are probably murdered in the woods by Ernest. But
Yeah.
you think they could do a gritty reboot of Ernest?
Why?
Of course.
You mean like
a
reboot Ernest with like Gritty as Ernest?
Yeah, gritty, yes, Ernest.
And he does the gritty, the dance that football players do when they score a touchdown. You know,
yeah, that'd be good too. All of this is good stuff, guys. We're good. See, we like each other again, right?
I hope so. I think Logan and I rebonded over butt licking while you're gone.
Yeah. You're
You
talking about
think
me
that happened?
licking butts.
Yeah, I did. Shut up.
That's hilarious.
What
We
else
get
you guys wanna talk
Miak
about?
because we realize that
Oh yeah.
MI blank K. We're like, that's their weakness. What could that be? Is that a real thing? Miak? What is that?
I don't know.
I
don't
doubt
know.
it.
But there is like
okay.
a whole. There's a runner in this movie where there's like they're reading about like how to take down the trolls, and like there's a prophecy, and it's like a man. They need like a kind-hearted man, and like for a lot of the movie, like Eartha Kitt thinks they need to like find like a heart from out of a man, and I'm like, the fucking thing's clearly about Ernest. Like, are we not supposed to realize that like right away?
And it was pretty obvious to me. I don't know. I think they're just dumb. As we've said, this town is full of dummies.
It's pretty obvious this guy doesn't like milk also. Like it's instantly the first time he sees milk, the troll runs away. So it's like, why didn't we figure this out? But
I
then
think that was ice cream actually, which was cool.
he kills the troll.
Running away from milk. What is he, a homophobe?
What? Like Harvey Milk?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's pretty good. That one is a thinker, though. Maybe I have the Ernest curse. Maybe that's my problem.
I think you're more Hubie than Ernest.
I would thank you, Logan. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Does that make his lady Violet Valentine?
Yeah,
Dude.
of course. Not Charlotte, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Ernest is flat down there. I got Hubie going on down there.
Hubie's hung.
Yeah. Yeah. Just ask Shaq. He knows. I mean, pretty much
we beat them. We fight the trolls and we beat them.
They fight them. They have this tree house where it's kind of like the Sandlot tree house where they have all the like Rube Goldberg things, and they fight the trolls, and Ernest at one point is doing all his different personalities and leading the charge, and each one is like doing a different attack. It's like, do you think like an Ernest fighting game? We always talk about the Hubie Adam Sandler fighting game. Do you think an Ernest fighting game with all his personalities would be good? If Ernest showed up in Mortal Kombat and you could play as Edna or Nedna, or
I would hope that you can at least do a move where he dresses up as Nedna, like a fatality.
There was that one where like the balls on the chain fell out of her dress. That was like a joke, like with she could use those as a weapon.
That's
good. Well, no,
she
made like a trans joke there where she said, "Oh, I need to wear these until the surgery goes through or whatever."
That's what happened in there.
Yeah, that was the joke, I think.
Okay.
What other characters do you include? What if it's like Marvel versus Capcom versus Ernest? Okay.
Well,
you'd have the team, the fat guy and the skinny guy, right?
Yeah, Chuck and Bobby, of course, are one playable character, and you like switch between
rim shot. You gotta have run out, bite the ankles.
Well,
maybe
I think
the troll from this one. Maybe evil Ernest from Camp.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Nash. Evil Ernest. You gotta have like you'll have like Camp Ernest and Jail Ernest. They're different Ernests.
Right.
So, like, Camp Ernest Camp Ernest, he like summons the snapping turtle parachute.
And he does sign language at you. He's like doing
Chief Ironheart or Iron Wolf or whatever.
Yeah.
Iron Eyes Cody. Wow,
Yeah,
holy shit! How do I remember that?
I can't believe you.
I'll always
Santa
remember
Claus-
it at this point.
Santa Claus, of course. But
Oh,
like,
Santa. Yeah, he
Yeah.
could be a character.
but like, what's his name after once he's dicking
But the
down
girl
that
took
old
his sack
lady.
to the airport, so he's useless. He can't do anything.
Oh, Noelle. Yeah, that would be our female
Noelle.
character.
Gotta have Noelle.
She's reaching into the bag, pulling out random things that she could use, like a machete or whatever.
All right.
This is
just
good
keep
stuff.
Noelle away from the rest of the crew of the video game. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. We don't want this to be blowjob city all over again.
That's her fatality.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Really see some snow. All right.
And then he dances with the troll at the end. That's the way he defeats it with love.
And he kisses the troll, and then he like. You guys haven't talked a lot about Ernest's third catchphrase, right? Like, "Hey, Vern," number one. Number two,
Know what I mean.
you know what I mean. But number three is this.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
guess
was
that is
bummed.
true.
There's one in the first two movies that he didn't bust out in these. In the first two movies, he's always doing math calculations and he carry the one.
Yeah.
He always says
I didn't
carry
notice
the
that
one.
in these two. So here in
It's
these two?
not in these two.
Yeah,
It's
he
only in the
didn't-
first two.
Oh, I liked in the Scared Stupid. He kept using booger lips. It's only really in that one toward the troll. Like, come here, booger lips. But I thought that
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Why booger lips?
Well, he's all
he had like
slimy.
slime all over his
Yeah,
lips. Looked like boogers.
he did have booger.
and snot.
This guy had booger lips because the troll had two noses. That was what was crazy.
Mm.
And then
Ew.
then the troll gets like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze moment and becomes like the super shredder.
Mm.
He comes out and then he has like
Now
He has,
that's
like,
Kevin
the-
Nash.
he has
Yeah,
like the
that's
Beetle he has the Beetlejuice like thing when like Beetlejuice like does the shock face and you see it from behind, right?
Yeah,
He has all those like tentacle-y things that flop off of his face, and he's like,
Yeah.
now I'm unstoppable. And then Ernest has to like dance with him and kiss him, and then he blows up.
Yeah, he blowed up, just like Ernest in the first one. It's third one.
Yeah.
I hated this one.
Yeah,
No, I hated it.
I-
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this one
Too
a
long.
one.
This
I
one
gave
was
it a
too
1.
long.
I give this
One?
one a 1. Yeah, this one sucks. Like this is like a high and a low. This is
Like
a
I
swing
feel like
for me.
we are gonna get much worse than this, and I might regret this one at a later date. But I am gonna give this one a 1. Maybe I should be like more like the last week I gave them both 2s. Then maybe like Jail should get a 3. This one should get a 1.
I
I'm
think
gonna go
so.
like all variations of 2s.
I think you're probably being more accurate, but
At
I
the
think
end,
my
I'll
4 for
rethink it.
Jail is the
but
most accurate.
I would argue
Funny.
that like my
And I like it.
enjoyment of Jail and my enjoyment of this are varied wildly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Tim, do you want to say you didn't really say your take on Jail? You're like a really deep take on it that I didn't think of too much about. But I thought it was pretty
Oh
funny.
yeah. Oh, you're talking about my letterbox review?
Yeah. I was like, whoa, Tim,
My-
thought a lot about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it, Ernest is an innocent person who was put to death, and just like how our system, the death penalty,
Mhm.
is extremely fallible. So, like, I feel like if one innocent person is executed, then it makes the whole system flawed. Like, how can you trust that?
I knew it was gonna happen.
Oh
He stopped moving, but we could hear him.
yeah.
It was just a matter of time.
Do we need to do a 1991 list?
We can do that, and then I think we need to end because I sort of have to go to the bathroom.
That's
pretty bad.
fine. What's give me a movie from 1991.
He's still here. I don't know if he can hear us or not, but career opportunities.
Thank you. That's the movie.
Well, that's my number 10.
That's your number 10? Wow, good for you.
Number 10. My number 9 is going to be My Own Private Idaho. I just watched it. 8, Thelma and Louise. 7, Point Break. 6, another Coen Brothers film, Barton Fink. 5, Boys in the Hood. 4, a documentary about the film Apocalypse Now. It's called Hearts of Darkness. Had a filmmaker's apocalypse. 3, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. 2, The Silence of the Lambs. 1, JFK.
JFK.
I love
That
JFK.
is wild. I have
I know.
JFK at 13.
That's wild. That's not cool.
Whatever. Timmy, we moved on to our 1991 list. We're sick of your bullshit.
I agree. Me too.
Yeah. All right. Number 10 for me is Dead Again, Kenneth Branagh. Number 9 is Cape Fear. 8 is Jungle Fever. 7, My Own Private Idaho. 6, Terminator 2. Number 5, Jim Jarmusch's Night on Earth. Number 4, John Sayles' City of Hope. Number 3, Barton Fink. Number 2, Boys in the Hood. Number 1, Silence of the Lambs.
Boys in the Hood is very high.
Yeah.
That's a good list. What do you think about JFK, Tim? You love JFK? The film?
JFK is good. Do I love it? It's like it's amazing that you love it because I feel like it's in a very long movie and you hate long movies.
And I also feel like it's such a product of its day.
Yeah. But I love movies like that. I don't know. I'm able to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie, but like, I don't know.
It's over 3 hours long. I didn't notice that.
That's a good year, though. There's a bunch just outside the top 10 that deserve to be on a top 10 somewhere. I have like Defending Your Life, Man in the Moon, Dogfight, Point Break, The Commitments. Those are all great movies.
Cape Fear, Last Boy Scout. Yeah. But all right. Thank you, Tim. I don't think we have anything else, do we?
We have the comments on the Patreon.
Oh yeah, and we have MVP.
So proud.
MVP is Ernest. LVP, I'm going with the girl's mom.
The girl's
Elizabeth's mom, who was like, "You gotta stop being scared of things under your bed."
She's the MVP.
LVP.
Oh, okay.
She's just credited Elizabeth's mother.
I was gonna go with Elizabeth as the MVP, the fucking girl from Third Rock from the Sun. Well, that's just because I've been watching it a lot.
Well, she was good. I was impressed by her. I remember. And
LVP is the fucking Spanky kid.
My MVP will be Rimshot, the dog who drives the car. That was good. Mm-hmm. He at one point, Ernest dressed him as a boy in order to lure the troll, and then the dog looked really embarrassed to be wearing the outfit. And then my LVP will be the main child who was in the movie for far too much and was like half the movie. I hate him. Really, that's the main problem with this issue is like more Ernest, less kids, and you can really feel the turn that this is. The franchise has stopped being for dumb adults and children, and now it's just for children.
Agreed. I totally agree with that, and that's a problem to me.
Yeah, because we're dumb adults and we like dumb things. We love Hubie, and that's like a movie for dumb adults, and it's fine. It's fine to like dumb things.
Yeah, but we've got a whole president for dumb adults now.
Yeah, we live in the dumb adult country, right? Like everything here, right?
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So we have some comments. Mikey Graff says, my 11-year-old son is really enjoying these movies. I guess that speaks to what you're saying. He's been walking around the house constantly saying, you know what I mean? Also,
oh my God, God bless him.
Also, I'm pretty sure that podcast review is in response to the episode where you reacted to the election results. That guy probably voted for Trump.
Could be. Could be.
I don't know. Dan says stuff though too. It's hard to determine what there's so many
really it's impossible to tell.
We just know that this guy is wrong. Okay, the guy at least
whatever his name was Dub.
Yeah,
we thought it might be T-Dub.
I don't think anything he said was particularly wrong, but we deserve at least 2 stars. Fuck off.
That's what I'm saying too. It's fair criticism, but like it's not a one's.
I mean, all criticism, honestly.
Yeah, you want to hear a 1-star show? Just
no, you're not.
Go back and listen.
I am not from you, from the listeners.
Exactly.
I'm open from the listeners.
You want to hear a 1-star show? Go and listen to like those episodes when Dan's mic never worked, and
go listen to the Blade Runner episode.
Yeah.
There's more than one of them. They're
fuck off.
But he also, I mean, that election thing did get more listeners than like some of our like real episodes, so he might be onto something. Maybe someone just got mad. But Michael Babcock says So Ernest Goes to Jail is a kids movie, but isn't there a scene where Charlotte goes over to Ernest's house where it's Nash pretending to be Ernest, and the scene plays out with the implications of him trying to force himself on her?
Yes.
Yes. It kind of reminded me of Beethoven's Second when the dog prevents the daughter from an assault. Daniel's favorite scene in a film. He loves that part. References.
Thank you for bringing that up. I highly appreciate that coming up.
We gotta do
those.
That would be such a fun series.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, those aren't really kids' movies. I tried showing my kids the first Beethoven.
They're like evil.
I saw them in theaters.
There's a scene where it's determined the bad guy is fake, that Beethoven has bit him. So Charles Grodin is taking Beethoven to be euthanized.
Yeah, I do remember
that's the
that.
third one, I think.
All of the kids.
No,
all of his
I never
kids,
saw the third one. And Charles Grodin isn't in the third one.
Yeah. All of his kids are crying. And then I turn and look, and all three of my kids are crying at the movie. So much so that we turned it off, and they just assumed Beethoven was euthanized because they had never
That's
seen
a bad job by
ending.
you then.
Yeah,
well, I literally said it's a movie. It's going to be a happy ending. All kids' movies end happily. Like, they're not going to kill him. And meanwhile, they're all three crying. And
kids are too sensitive these days. I saw that movie in theaters. Didn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Did you see it with Vern, the janitor with no genitals?
No, I saw it with my parents, I'm sure. Well, my parents. My father was definitely not there. My mom.
Ross Beck says, most people seem to think that camp is peak Ernest. They're wrong. Jail is where Jim Varney was given his chance to shine the brightest. Not only does he play both the very different protagonist and antagonist, the scene where he busts out the rapid fire impressions just made me want to stand up and clap for the man. Cagney, Bogart, Stallone, etc. He just kills it in only way that he could. I legitimately put Varney up there with the likes of Paul Rubens and Rowan Atkinson as one of the best alter ego comedians ever.
Can I throw out Carrey as well? I thought a lot
Carrie
about
always?
Jim Carrey.
Carrie Bradshaw.
Like there's Get Carried Away, but
it's like Terry Bradshaw.
Jim Carrey had
Carrie and Terry Bradshaw.
What?
All right, just move on.
The fictional character from Sex and the City is related to Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, who knows?
And their parents named them that close, with Terry and Carrie.
It's possible. Anyway, sorry.
Is there a Sherry Bradshaw?
Barry, maybe a Barry. A Larry.
I lost it.
Harry.
Move on to the next.
Gary.
Wait. Okay, Jim Carrey. But which Jim Carrey would you put it?
Well,
is it
early on in his career, they used to call him Rubber Face, right? He had like a comedy special where they called him Rubber Face. And I thought about that. Jim Varney kind of does that.
Yeah.
He's more Leatherface, though.
Leatherface.
But I would say that Jim Carrey, we're in like a Carrey-assance because Dr. Robotnik is becoming like the new Jim Carrey thing. He retired from acting and returned to be two Jim Carreys. Hey, is Sonic 3 going to be the Ernest Goes to Jail? It's the third version, and it features two Jim Carreys in it.
It's possible.
Yeah.
When will we cover Sonic on the show?
When the third one comes out.
I guess so. Are we going to do Knuckles, that TV show? Is that Idris Elba?
Sure.
Idris, watch that.
Idris Elba, I saw he's doing like crypto commercials or something. I'm like, anything Idris Elba does, I'm disappointed by at this point.
Yeah.
He's great as Knuckles, honestly, and he loves being Knuckles. He's like everyone who's in Sonic, like absolutely loves being their characters.
Why?
I don't know. They must treat him really nice or pay him really well. But
I saw the first movie. It was bad.
I liked it, honestly, and I hate Sonic. Like, I went in as a hater and ended up liking it. But I am a big Hop fan, and it's James Marsden with a computer animated character. So maybe I had residual EB appreciation. Hey, Ross Beck, thank you for the comment. I do want to say, and unbeknownst
not
to
done
Dan,
with it. He said that said, Scared Stupid is just, well, to put it like Ernest, ew. Scared Stupid MVP is most definitely Rimshot. So there you go. Now you can think.
I that's what I picked. I was correct. Ross, I will say this, and I will commit Dan to this. He doesn't know it quite yet, but for Christmas, if you can make this happen on Ross Flex, Dan and I will do a We Love Kids movies for red one.
Yeah, I have said I would do that.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I knew you would. We the three of us will do a We Love Kids movies if Logan wants to.
Wait,
But
3 of us? What the hell? What?
you don't have to be on it if you don't want to, but you're always welcome, Logan.
Two of you can do it. Maddie Rag says, rewatching these movies for the first time in ages, I kept thinking Jim Varney looks like an older Rex Simon. That's interesting.
Simon Rex.
But he said Rex Simon. Could have played an absentee dad in Red Rocket if the SIGs didn't get him. R.I.P. Scared Stupid frightened me as a child immensely.
Who wrote that one?
Maddie Rags.
Maddie Rags.
Maddie Rags has Scared Stupid as 3 stars on Letterboxd, by the way.
It's got to be some nostalgia there, man.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap up. I really have to go to the bathroom, or we can take a break for a few minutes.
All right. Next week on the show is Ernest Rides Again and Ernest Goes to School. I think those are the next two.
All right.
Yeah. And then we'll wrap it up the following week with Slam Dunk Ernest, Ernest Goes to Africa, and Ernest in the Army. All right. So come on back, patreon.com/the franchise. We got Buffy's Angels later this week with Buffy episode 5 of season 7 is Selfless, Big Anya episode. And the Angel is The House Always Wins, which takes place in my current hometown of Las Vegas. And what else? We've got Hey, I'm Watching Here coming your way later this week. We've got Comp Beasts coming your way. We're still doing the latest season of Big Brother.
Evermore in a couple weeks. Next week.
Yeah, next week we'll have He Swift covering Evermore. And so that's it. And go to the
What's
YouTube.
the next commentary?
Lots of good shit on the YouTube.
I don't know. Let us know. Leave a comment for the commentary.
Yeah.
I like Home Alone a lot. It makes sense to do Home Alone 2.
Yeah,
right?
I kind of just want to do Home Alone 2.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We'll do
he
it.
gets lost in New York, I think, in that one.
The president's in that one. We get to see the Twin Towers. Lots of exciting
good
stuff.
New York stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a bird lady. Logan loves birds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
That's
excited.
true. All right, so come on back next week. I hope you enjoyed Tim on the show. Follow us all on Blue Sky.
Oh my
sorry,
gosh.
I made them fight everybody. I won't
All
be.
right, can we end? I really have to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry, guys. Ew.
Good job.